Folks, for over a year now, we've been extolling the virtues of buying precious metals. As you can see, Fort Knox is about to be audited, and that's imminent, and you're going to see that gold reserves are little to none. What do you think that'll do to the price of gold? And with silver being ransacked with COMEX on the markets, that's sure to follow as well. The only question is, are you going to take action or not? If you haven't, what are you waiting for? And if you have, please take a moment to visit one of our great sponsors here below, the link in the description, and call for the information. It's free. The consultation is free. The cost of not taking advantage of this has lasting consequences, folks. Please tell them John and Chris sent you. You'll be more than happy that you did. Hi there, and welcome to this week's weekly RV report for the week of Friday, April 18th, 2025. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. Lots to cover, as you know. So let's get started. As you know, I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not constituted as financial advice. This is merely quality information to be shared with you in order for you to use for your own discernmental authority. Starting off with the nation of Iraq, elections in Iraq have officially started. Prime Minister Soudani, while corrupt and who isn't, will do whatever it takes to get elected, and as a big part of that includes economic stability within the region. Mr. Halo Akusari, Iraqi Minister of Environment, was presented at the 9th meeting in Suleimani this week. As the late Benny Wilson proclaimed, there would be a water crisis in Iraq, and when that happened, it would be symbolic of the reset incoming. And now this event is happening in real time. Additionally, Minister Hayan Abdul Ghani pointed out at this year's annual Suli form that an amendment of the budget law was not yet voted on by Parliament and needs to be done in ASAP in order to amend the law to provide international oil companies operating within the Kurdistan region with the required amount for oil production. And with that movement comes along a new exchange rate for the dinar to be included. Kurdistan region Prime Minister Mazur Barzani on Thursday met with the German ambassador to Iraq in order to discuss a wide range of issues that include the aforementioned Kurdish oil export, which has been halted for more than 2 years. It was also announced this week in Baghdad that a Johnny Rockets burger chain is opening in Baghdad. There are multiple comms within this announcement. A return to the basics, back to the future with the 1950s being prominently displayed, and a reset of values as well as economically speaking. Additionally, Wells Fargo is remodeling and revamping their remaining 4,349 branches nationwide to be more modernized and digitized, ultimately to become wealth management centers. This rollout started 2 years ago, but is now coming into completion. That is a big indicator of where we are right now. In the nation of Vietnam, as you are all well aware this week, with the 90-day pause on trade tariffs from President Trump, Vietnam has already come to the table in order to strike up a trade agreement with President Trump and the Treasury. It appears that they have done so successfully, and we are working on confirming that. But apparently, behind the scenes, Vietnam has worked on privately revaluing their dong. So there is a remote possibility that the dong could go before the dinar. However, on our channel, we subscribe to Kim Clement's past prophecies, and he proclaimed that the dinar would go first as the proverbial ribbon cutter. So we will wait to see how that all plays out. But things are certainly on the move, to be sure. In the nation of Zimbabwe, as we reported on our podcast with Ellie Weber, Zimbabwe has made a recent discovery of lithium, commonly known as white gold, to have massive amounts of reserves in the ground. This speaks to the late, great Kim Clement's prophecy years ago when he said that something white would be found underground that would make them rich beyond belief. We'll chalk up yet another victory for the late, great Kim Clement posthumously. Several other neighboring nations, such as Mali, the Congo, and Tunisia, have found the white substance prevalent within the ground as well. On the commodity side, which tells its own story, we see at the time of this broadcast, crude oil is trading at $62.61. Gold is now trading today at $3,332 and silver at $32.49. As you know, gold hit its all-time high this week at $3,358.68. It will vacillate from time to time, but it will continue to climb, and silver will follow its lead accordingly. It's noteworthy to mention that the dollar index is below 100 again. Today, it's currently trading at $99.52, and it's predicted by our fellow team member B, who you saw his podcast a couple weeks ago, and all the predictions he made market-wise are now starting to come to pass. He has said that it should go below 99 as early as next week. Remember that the dollar hates competition, and it's getting lots of it right now between gold and the foreign currency market, which is clearly great news for us and what we're invested. On the crypto side, XRP, Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple, is putting it out there that he's actively working with Paul Atkins, the new SEC chair, in order to get a resolution agreement done as soon as possible. This would suggest an announcement is coming sooner rather than later. Medbed's reported a report on Jack Straw, which we also put on Eli Weber's podcast on X, came out this week and stated that 181 hospitals in Pennsylvania are closing down, a clear and present sign that Medbeds are getting closer to being unveiled and made available to the public, especially with just over a month remaining before the state/World's Fair ensues, beginning on May 30th. And that concludes this week's RV report. As breaking news comes out, as always, we will get it to you urgently. Thanks for listening. Have a great Good Friday today and a great Resurrection Sunday for those of you who are Christians. God bless. Take care. Goodbye for now.